Hi there, very warm welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ilona Kay, and I thought of making a video today of sharing all my tips and tricks that I've learned on YouTube within my time on YouTube, and I hope this video is insightful and helpful for all new YouTubers out there, so stay tuned for the action. So I've been on YouTube for 5 months now. I started the beginning of March. So I'm super excited. It's only been 5 months. It's almost half a year. So I've still got so much to learn, so much to grow. But I just thought, let me make a video to let you all know what I have learned through these 5 months on YouTube. And I hope these tips are helpful. So today I'll be sharing 20 tips on what I've learned on YouTube within my time on YouTube. The first, number one, that I would like to mention is to just start. Just start on YouTube. I know a lot of people that have been putting it off for years. I know people that have put it off for about 5 or 6 years. I've heard of some people that have put it off for 10 years because they didn't know how to. They didn't have the logo. They didn't have a DSLR camera, they don't have a mic. I promise you, you don't need those things. If you're watching this video right now and you have a smartphone, you can start on YouTube. You can build as you grow and learn as you grow. You don't need all this fancy equipment. When I started, I just had my smartphone, my Huawei. That's all I had. I didn't even have a mic. I didn't even have a tripod, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to put a photo up over here where I was taking one of my first videos. I think it was my 4th video with my friend Sherry. And my phone was stacked on all these boxes. And at some point the phone fell while we were recording. And the stacking I had to do for my videos, it was insane because I had to put a box on a box on a box on a box and have my phone at the top. But that's how I started on YouTube. As I grew and as I learned and as I started to love YouTube, I then learned that it wasn't that expensive to get a ring light. And so I got my first ring light. And then after that, I invested into a microphone. I have it over here. I've just got a clip-on lavalier microphone that has helped me so much. So you learn as you grow, you build as you grow, and you can start with just your smartphone, I promise you. Tip number 2 is to plan and do mind maps. This has been a bit of a trick with me because when I started, I just got my camera, filmed, didn't do much planning, but planning is very important, but it's not the most important thing. You don't have to have a plan, but it does help you to not ramble in your videos, which is my problem. I tend to ramble and I just go on and on and on about the same topic and I go around in circles, like what I'm doing right now. It's good to have a plan. It's good to have a step-by-step. So over here, I did an LDR video, a long distance relationship video. Here's my planning for that video. So I created this whole mind map on what I'm going to talk about. It looks complicated, but I know what I was doing. Where I start, what I'm going to talk about around that topic, and everything included. Today's video, there it is. My time with YouTube. There's all my notes. There's everything I need to include for today. So it's important to create these. And it doesn't need to be fancy. Mine's just on a piece of paper. And to be honest, as you can see, nothing really matches and it's all just kind of everywhere. Tip number 3. Check that the camera is rolling. I had this within my first month or 2 where I would film 20 minutes. I filmed 20 minutes of one of my makeup tutorial videos. And once I was done, I realized it didn't record the entire time. I can't even explain it. I was beyond myself. I was so irritated because it started recording when I was doing my base and I was doing my concealer. And then at some point, it just stopped recording. And so I moved on to my eyeshadow and I'm explaining in detail, and my eyeliner, my mascara. I'm explaining everything in detail, my blush. I'm finished with the final look. I'm saying to myself, okay, cool, video's done, time to take thumbnails, send it off to my editor, we're good to go. And then I realize it's not there. And with a makeup video, you can't just redo it. You can't just take off my makeup and redo it, because my skin tends to look a little bit weird if I take off makeup. It looks a bit tired. So check the cameras rolling. Please check the cameras rolling. Tip number 4 is to make sure if you're using a smartphone, you have enough space for a video. So these are my tips that I've learned, and trial and error. So I was recording the one day and my phone just stops recording. If there's no space, it just decides, nope, it stops recording. And again, I was recording something and I had to stop. And then I had to go to my computer, transfer files, delete files, and only then could I continue recording. So recording that was meant to take maybe an hour or half an hour took about 3 hours. So check you got space. It's important. It's important to do that. Tip number 5, always film in landscape. So you'll see my video over here. That's one of my first videos. Did not film in landscape, because why? Why do we want to do that? And my editor, my second mom, she said to me, I'll make you do with what I have, but from going forward, you need to film in landscape, because on YouTube, it's landscape. So you need to film in landscape. And it's quite upsetting when you film this entire video and you've gone through all the planning and then you end up filming it in portrait mode. It's quite frustrating because you can't just redo the video. You can, but there's time and effort wasted. So please check. It's in landscape. It's really important. Tip number 6 is getting watch time is not easy. So one thing I've learned, because I was thinking, 4,000 watch hours, it sounds like a lot, but I bet you I'm going to get this quick, chop, easy peasy, few months, got my 4,000. Not so easy. It really isn't. 4,000 hours is a very long time. You'll come to learn. It's a very, very, very long time. I've been on YouTube for 5 months and I only have around 200 watch hours now. And it's been 5 months. And I post twice a week. So getting watch time isn't as easy as it looks, I promise you. But you will get there. So I don't want to discourage you. You will get there. Just keep consistent, keep posting, and every minute counts. I promise you. Every minute counts, and every minute adds up to that 4,000 at the end of the day. Tip number 7 is to always make sure you record an intro and an outro. So I learned this lesson quite hard, because what I like to do is record the middle of the video and then I do the intro and outro together, and then we just split them and put them in the front and the back. So I don't know what came about me, but I just forgot to do the intro and outro. So we had to make do, and we did, which was great. But yeah, do record an intro and outro, and do remember that. So when you're filming, remember, I've got to do an intro, I've got to do the body, I've got to do the outro. One of my hard lessons to learn, didn't record an intro and outro. With that, as I mentioned, number 8 is the filming order is not that necessary. So when I first started on YouTube, I thought, okay, I'm going to need to start the camera, get it rolling, film the entire video, and then stop. No, that's not the case. You can film the middle section, and then once you've done that, then you can film the outro. And then once you're done that, you can film the intro. Because when you're editing it, you can mangle it all up and put it in the order it should be. In my experience, I prefer doing the middle section first, then the intro and outro together, or the intro and the outro. The reason being is that within my video, there might be something I might say, or I might add in, or I might think of doing that I didn't think before recording. So with those things, I can mention that in my intro. I can mention, within this video, get really excited because I'm going to show you X, Y, and Z, which I might not have done if I just did my intro first. I might not say that because I haven't actually done the body of the video. Some things also might not work out as planned. So you can mention that in your intro. You can mention, I tried to do this, but it didn't work out as planned. I tried to paint my nails this color, but it turned out that that color wasn't that pretty. So I had to change over time. So filming order is not something to stress that much about. All right, so tip number 9, I'm gonna put over there, is that I learned you get there's an amazing community of YouTubers out there. So either the subscribers themselves or the YouTubers, they are so helpful, so supportive. So get in touch, get involved, do collaborations, comment on their videos, ask them to comment on your videos. I wouldn't recommend sub for sub. Personally, I wouldn't recommend that. But getting involved with other YouTubers and supporting their channels, I've been so amazed. I think the one thing that I was the most scared of for YouTube was the negativity. I was scared someone would come to me and say, listen, you shouldn't do this. Your channel's not good. You're not good. You shouldn't do this. Stop it. But I've gotten anything but that. I've just gotten positivity. Everyone's so positive and uplifting and helpful. And that is amazing. And that's one thing I didn't know on YouTube. If I wasn't a creator, I wouldn't have known that. I honestly wouldn't have known that. So tip number 10 is to definitely take risks. I know a lot of people like to pick the safe route. You'd like to go the safe route. You like to do what you know. But I encourage you to take risks. So one of the risks that I took was my dye my hair red video. I was so excited to do it. I was ready. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. We're doing a dyeing my hair red video. And once I had recorded it, I wasn't that keen. I thought, no, maybe the background doesn't look great. Maybe the atmosphere doesn't look great. Maybe I shouldn't do it. But I thought, you know what? I've put in so much time and effort. Let me just do it. Let me just put it up and do it. And it actually turned out to do very, very well. It's been one of my videos that's actually done a lot better than my other videos. So take a risk. Step out of your comfort zone. Do something that is different and unusual and challenge yourself. I definitely recommend to challenge yourself. So my tip number 11 is to do batch recordings. So especially if you are a mom with little kids, or you're a student studying, or you just have a very, very busy lifestyle, I would recommend that you do batch recordings. So do batch recordings for the reason that you take one day and you do all your recordings. And for some of you, it might be easier that way. It might be easier to take a Saturday to do all your recordings than to do it, an hour this week, an hour that week, because the kids might be around, you might need help with homework, you might need to fetch the kids from school. So I would recommend doing batch recording. So take the weekend or take one evening and do 2 or 3 videos within the recordings. And what you can do for batch recordings is just change your shirt. Change your shirts, change your outfit, change your hairstyle, and it'll look like a completely different day and a completely different video. So batch recordings are definitely important for time management and to just get a lot of videos done in a short time. On that note, it is important to have backup recordings. So another lesson that I learned, sometimes your videos don't always work as planned. I've had about 2 or 3 videos that I've recorded, but I've recorded them on a different smartphone device. That's a bit of an older version. And the audio was terrible. It was terrible. You couldn't use it. It was so bad. And the visuals were so bad. So if possible, try to have a backup recording. I'm not saying for every video, try to always have a backup recording that you can fall back on in case that video doesn't work out. In case once you're editing it, you see my point wasn't coming across as well, because it doesn't always work out the way you plan, especially when starting off on YouTube. When you first start off on YouTube, you might want to look into having backup recordings for videos. Tip number 13, do check your phone is in video mode. So a lot of the time, what I've done, which is a problem, I have set my camera up on the ring light and I've set everything up. And it's on portrait or photo mode. And then what I do is I used to record in selfie mode so that I could see myself. I could see how much of my head's being chopped off, how much of the sides I have. But then the quality is much better on the back camera. So I decided I'm rather going to use a back camera, but that means I can't see myself. So I would set myself up. I would check every angle, check all the things in portrait photo mode. Go hit that record. Cool, sit down, I'm cool. What happens with most smartphones is on photo mode, it's zoomed out. The minute you go into video mode, it zooms it in. So it can cut everything off. I'll put a snippet over here of one video that I did that I physically cut like half my head off. And it was like a day or two before we were meant to release the video, and there was no time to redo that part or redo that. And I just thought, you know what? These are things I'm going to laugh about years to come, and it's okay. You live and you learn. And I'm a new YouTuber. I'm a small YouTuber, so I can do a reaction video on that one day and just laugh about it. So do check that everything is in the camera view. Some things you can use is to use a mirror. So to have a mirror behind your phone so that you can see what is being recorded, or you can make use of a program called Reflector 3. They do have a trial that you can try, but basically what it does is it'll be on your computer screen or your laptop, and it'll show you what's on your smartphone. So you can then see what is busy being recorded on your smartphone. But once the trial ends, you do have to pay for the package. Tip number 14 is I've learned the importance of social media and the importance of promoting your videos. So especially when starting off, the first few months, put your video everywhere. Go put it as your Instagram story. Go put it on Instagram. Go put it on Twitter. Go put it on LinkedIn. Go everywhere. Just put it everywhere, to be honest. So put your videos on TikTok. What I noticed within my algorithms is how much traction my videos got from external. And external is anything outside of YouTube that is bringing people to your videos and to your channel. And also test this. So in my country, in South Africa, we make use of WhatsApp as the messaging service. And it's one of the top messaging services within the country. I never thought of putting it as my WhatsApp status and promoting it on WhatsApp, because I just thought, who's going to want to watch it? People on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, no one's going to want to see this on WhatsApp. And I decided one day with my long distance relationship video to actually test the theory. I just put it on there in case some friends and family want to see it that aren't on Facebook. And immediately, a month after, I could see Facebook was getting a lot of traction. Right under there was WhatsApp. Instagram was way down the list. Instagram was way down there. So it's important to test this out. If you think that a site might not be as helpful or might not get you traction, why not try it out? You got nothing to lose. It's free. Try it out. Try out different things. Maybe try to take a snippet of your YouTube video and have it as a photo and put it on TikTok. So if someone watches that, they want to know more. Oh my word, they're excited. They go watch your channel. Try different things. As I said, step out of your comfort zone. Tip number 15 is that thumbnails and titles carry a lot of weight. So I've learned this, especially with titles specifically, is my titles carry so much weight. So when someone's looking at a video or they're looking to click on your video, the first thing they're going to see is your thumbnail. Your thumbnail needs to catch them. If they want more about your video, they're going to read your title, and that's when they decide, will I click on this video and watch it, or won't I? So thumbnails and titles carry so much weight in your videos. If you have a bad thumbnail and good content, no one's going to watch that video, because that's the first impression they see. They see that thumbnail, they don't like it. They don't even get to the part to see what is actually in your video. So it's important to get eye-catching thumbnails and important to look at your titles. So within that topic of titles and thumbnails, one thing that I got from a challenge I did with Sean Cannell and the Think Media team is to research your titles. So it's important to research your titles. I do want to do a video on this solely in explaining this in detail, but to research and use sites such as TubeBuddy and use sites such as vidIQ. They are super helpful. You can see where your SEO score is. You can see what people are searching for. Perhaps one or two keywords will help your video get much more traction. Once I started researching my titles and started changing the way that I title my videos, my YouTube search is currently on around 40% of my traffic, whereas 2 months ago, it was on 7% YouTube search. So I can see it's definitely working. So research your titles and make sure that you've got an amazing title that's eye-catching and it's searchable. Tip number 17 is to not overthink your videos. So don't overthink it. Yes, plan it. Yes, look into titles. Yes, go research your titles and get good thumbnails. But don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Because again, if you're going to overcomplicate it, you're going to procrastinate and then you're never going to do it. And that's the same thing with starting a channel. Don't overthink it. Just start. And one of my favorite sayings from Sean Cannell within his challenge was start messy. Start messy and you will learn. I can see how much I've grown, and I've only been on YouTube for 5 months. I have so much more confidence on camera. I have so much more confidence within myself with starting on YouTube. So start messy. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Don't overthink it at all. Tip number 18 is to have fun. Have fun. Be yourself, because the more authentic you are, the more real you are, the more people can relate to you and they can actually find your content relevant. If you're going to put on a front and you're going to try and be something you're not, your subscribers and your fan base will see that. So be yourself. If you're quirky, be quirky. If you got funny jokes, put those in. Be yourself completely. And I must say, one of my videos where I am completely myself and I'm a little bit nervous about it was one of my most recent videos on a day in my life. In that video, I'm in my pajamas. In that video, I'm doing a face mask. In that video, I'm brushing my teeth. Not things I would ever think of filming and putting out there in the world, but there I am. If you want to have more me and for me to be more myself, watch that video, because I'm definitely myself 100% in that video. Tip number 19 is that you get better with every video. So I have mentioned this within the video, but you get better as you go. Every video you get better. So the first things I learned in my videos were to take it in portrait. I then learned to check that I'm in the camera view. I then learned to improve on my audio. I then learned not to ramble. I learned to make plans, to write things in here. As you can see, I've written out a whole plan for this video. So you get better as you go and you learn. But if you don't start, you will never know what to improve on because you haven't even started. And tip number 20 is, when you start a YouTube channel, know what your purpose is. Know what you want out of it. For this channel, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to create memories. I wanted this to almost be an online scrapbook that I could look at 20, 30 years from now and say, wow, that's what I was doing then. That's what I dressed like. That's what that's how I sounded. That's how I used to talk. That's how I wore my hair, and that's why I created my channel, and to do fun things, to learn people, to teach people how to do different hairstyles, to teach people how to bake and how to cook and help people with things. So know your purpose of why you want to start your YouTube channel. And with every video, even if you do get negative comments, even if you don't get a lot of views on a video, remember why you started in the beginning, and that'll keep you going. So just remember those things and it'll boost you and help you to keep you pushing through. All right, so we've reached the end of the video. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you like this video and you got something out of it, if you're encouraged to now start YouTube, if you're encouraged to continue with your YouTube channel, please give me a thumbs up to this video. Please comment down below if you have a YouTube channel currently, how is it doing? If you're looking into doing YouTube, let me know what was your favorite tip. Comment down below. Please consider subscribing to my channel and tapping that notification bell. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye for now.